2,000 years ago, a man walked across dusty roads, touched the untouchable, healed the impossible, and even defeated death itself. His name was Jesus Christ. But these miracles were not just amazing events. Each miracle revealed something deeper about who Jesus truly is today. We will uncover the 10 greatest miracles of Jesus and the powerful message behind each one. Jesus' first recorded miracle happened at a wedding in Cana. The celebration had run out of wine, which would have brought shame to the family. Mary, the mother of Jesus, told him about the problem. Jesus instructed servants to fill 6 stone jars with water. Then something impossible happened. The water became wine, and not ordinary wine, but the finest wine. John 2:11 says, "This beginning of miracles did Jesus in Cana of Galilee, and manifested forth his glory." This miracle showed that Jesus had authority over creation itself. He can transform ordinary things into something extraordinary. Before becoming disciples, Peter and other fishermen had worked all night but caught nothing. Jesus told them to cast their nets again. They probably thought it made no sense. They were experienced fishermen, but when they obeyed, their nets became so full of fish that they began to break. Peter fell before Jesus and realized he was standing before someone greater than himself. Luke 5:10 says Jesus told Peter, "Fear not, from henceforth thou shalt catch men." This miracle teaches us that obedience to Jesus can bring blessings beyond what we can imagine. In Jesus' time, leprosy meant rejection. People with this disease were considered unclean and forced away from others. But one leper came to Jesus and said, "Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean." Jesus did something shocking. He touched him, a touch no one else would give. And immediately, he was healed. Matthew 8:3 says, "I will, be thou clean." Jesus showed that he does not reject broken people. He restores them. One day, thousands followed Jesus into a deserted place. The people were hungry, but there was only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. To the disciples, it was impossible. But Jesus took what seemed too small, gave thanks, and multiplied it. Everyone ate until they were full, and 12 baskets were left over. This miracle reveals an important truth. What seems insufficient in our hands becomes enough in the hands of Jesus. Late at night, the disciples saw something terrifying. A figure was walking on the water toward them. They thought it was a ghost. But Jesus said, "Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid." Peter stepped out of the boat and walked toward Jesus. But when he focused on the storm instead of Christ, he began to sink. This miracle reminds us, faith grows when we keep our eyes on Jesus, even when life becomes stormy. The disciples were caught in a violent storm. The waves filled their boat, and they thought they were going to die. But Jesus stood and said, "Peace, be still." Immediately, the wind stopped and the sea became calm. The disciples asked, "What manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Jesus showed that he has power over nature itself. A man who had been blind from birth encountered Jesus. People wondered if his suffering was because of sin. But Jesus showed compassion. He healed the man's eyes, and for the first time, he saw the world around him. John 9 revealed something deeper. Jesus does not only open physical eyes, he opens spiritual eyes so people can see the truth. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. His sisters, Mary and Martha, believed Jesus came too late. But Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life." Then he stood before the tomb and called, "Lazarus, come forth." And the dead man walked out alive. This miracle revealed something powerful. Jesus is not only someone who performs miracles. He is the source of life itself. The greatest event in human history happened after Jesus was crucified. His body was placed in a tomb. His followers thought all hope was lost. But on the 3rd day, the tomb was empty. Jesus had defeated death. Matthew 28:6 says, "He is not here, for he is risen." The resurrection proved that Jesus was exactly who he claimed to be. The greatest miracle Jesus ever performed was not healing a body. It was saving a soul. Jesus came to forgive sins and restore humanity back to God. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." The greatest miracle is that Jesus still changes lives today. The miracles of Jesus were not just stories from the past. They reveal his power, his compassion, and his love for you. Which miracle touched your heart the most? Comment below, and subscribe to VerseFlash for more powerful Bible stories.